Welcome to the Richmond Burton 1993
candy store
July 4th parade.
Yeah.
We're
That was
checking
long
out
time candy store.
some of the
place. I think one of
patrons
those
here.
is out. Yep, there's my
There's
friend
Adrian
Hazel,
Anderson and
Rick Rickenthaler, former janitor.
Oh, Mr. Rick.
Mr. Rick.
Awesome.
Adrian Anderson, most likely to succeed in his class.
Exactly.
Was he
He's
really?
doing good. He's
I
doing
don't know,
good.
I'm
Look
just
at
doing
those
the
cars.
color.
They're still like 80s cars.
There's the old fire station.
The Crutcher's house is purple now.
Oh, well. Times have changed.
Right. What car
Cut.
is that? Okay, here it is. The movie.
Spotted goat. I must have, since I drew these, I must have come up with the spotted goat, right?
It's a good. I mean, it's
No, it was something that was happening.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like the Monty
Hamburger
Python
rides.
stuff. Like
Yeah, the goat.
goats.
It was all from Monty Python, really. The Age of Revolution. This is Anthrax we're listening to now?
Yeah. This is Intro to Reality.
Okay, nice.
Great song.
Bill chose most of the music for this.
Pretty
I think it
much.
was, yeah. That it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Bill chose
Well,
these
we
three
misspelled
actors,
Wesley Snipes, didn't we, too?
too. Probably.
Who knows?
We ran out of paper, though. What were we gonna do?
Yeah.
So Bill and Colin wrote this script mostly in class.
Yeah, I think if you listen to pretty much any of the monologue happening where we're actually teaching something.
That's where the meat of the revolution
Right,
happens.
the meat of the revolution. But the emotion of the revolution is created on site.
Yes.
Pretty much anything that wasn't a gay joke was scripted.
Exactly.
I shall rule England with the hand of kindness and discipline. The might of 1,000 horses could not stop me from being the best king I could be. Oh, but you
So where did that bed come from?
That bed had been in my family for decades, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I
think it's actually upstairs in that house right now.
I want to point out that I'm wearing the blue sheet that we will later use as a backdrop.
Well, what am I? I'm wearing.
Right, you're right.
You're
blue
wearing the
shawl-
blanket off
Right,
of
the
that bed.
blanket off the bed. That flannel is mine. That's my
I
heavier
remember that
flannel
being
than
your
I would
flannel.
wear.
Yeah, that was definitely.
Right, and it's a different hat. Okay, there's the.
This is our awesome editing.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Parliament.
No, I really think the king is losing support from the people. I think he's
I'm not getting anything from
whatever do you mean?
Because I was last time. I'm just hearing
Oh,
everything
how
off.
about now?
Oh, you unplugged it.
Oh, I unplugged the headphones. That would explain a whole lot of things. All right, now
There we go. Yes. All right. Excellent.
Technical difficulties here.
Thanks, Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is. Yeah, I'm running the camera. There's the blue sheet.
There's the blue blanket.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah,
Culver's
Culver's-
face there. Okay, so
The
this
only time
this
Culver
whole
smiles.
scene we came up with at that moment.
Yeah.
It was really.
We'll just have a gay king and have him dance around like a gay fun guy.
Right.
Kind of how it went, right?
Yes, exactly. Bill's like, ooh, nobody saw us having fun, did they?
Back to serious Parliament.
And this is Toby's impersonation of what we think a gay person would be like.
We had no point of reference.
No, not a gay person. A gay king.
I got here, people throwing your power around.
It's like you have a Korean accent. I mean, it's just like
King Jong.
He's gonna play this in the remake.
Give you all the royal spankings.
Did we get a laugh for that one in class? I think we did.
yes.
I feel like the class.
And that's why you never got laid in high school.
The class was a bad judge of what was funny.
Did you hear that the things he's been doing? I heard that he's forcing
I love
people
me,
to
what up,
take
right,
members of
Primus?
the army, and that he's raising taxes without the consent of Parliament. I also heard he's forcing the Church of Scotland
Wait, to say my line.
Church of England's prevalent. I think he's gay. Oh, okay. I think he's gay.
I do think you're counting.
Yes, Colburn's reading. Bill has it memorized. Colburn's reading. You can see where he's reading
yeah.
from.
My dad always said professionals prepare. Colburn reads.
What does the sign say that we got up there? Do you see the pizza board?
Yeah, what does it say?
I
Here, I'm
can't-
gonna shrink it down. See if we.
What does that?
Okay. I think he's gay. Yes,
Yeah, I don't know,
You
man.
think he's gay?
Something.
I
Yeah.
think the
Oh my goodness!
What
What does it say?
Right. So the mirrors behind is creating some real interesting effects. So we got to see Toby's face, then you guys exited into the living room.
It makes it seem like a bigger space than
The sheet looks like a giant ghost in these
Right,
scenes, too.
and I love how we had to move your dining table askew
Yeah,
to film
fit
that
in the
scene.
room with a camera.
Really? With the gay king.
Parliament gathered together an army against the king.
Right.
King Charles also had an army of support, and a bloody civil war in England soon followed.
That's me, right?
Charles was
By the
Parliament's
microphone.
military leader, Oliver Cromwell. Cromwell soon became dissatisfied with Parliament and conquered them and became the ruler of England. As a
Totally
dictator.
wrote this whole thing
Yeah.
right here.
Commercial message.
And then this was all done. Right, we
Then we
did just
turned the
throw
camera.
a sheet over it.
It's like a whole new scene.
Right.
This is all one scene, though. One take.
Yeah.
From the makers of Philadelphia Action Figures.
That Philadelphia Action Figures was a Saturday Night Live gag.
That's
That's
okay.
why they-
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
we were
where
just
this came
clever.
from.
Yes, Toby. Right.
Wow, English
Civil War Action Commando.
Now, this is some great writing here.
King Charles.
Archbishop Law.
Well, I love how the members of Parliament are like the swamp guys from G.I. Joe.
Diabolical.
Oliver Cromwell.
Have
The Roadheads. Oh, my Roadheads.
Royal Ensign Fighter Jets. Have Oliver Cromwell crush the
Puritan
Cavaliers.
Tango Destruction.
This is Royal Angelican Fighter Jet.
Right, Royal Angelican Fighter Jet.
Oh, wait.
Is that a Hornets hat that Colin's
That is.
wearing?
It
Yeah.
matches great with his Toronto Raptors shirt.
Also, from the makers of 22,000
They were expansion teams
Right,
that year.
that is huge. Teal, everything's teal.
Yeah, everything was teal that year.
Yep.
Aaron was watching Sequest and the dude had a Marlins hat on.
The North American
That's right, the
colonies
Marlins and
were
the-
heavily by the
Yep.
English.
And the Hornets.
Teal was in '94.
Yeah.
We've all had
Oh, this is at like kind of peak hippie stage for me here.
Pre-facial hair.
My mom would shave the sides. This is the Jason Sensabaugh haircut.
Yeah.
Like, Wilhelm later told me it was called a sulat.
What?
I don't know, that's like
That's what I had a sulat. I would go to the vet. She'd use like what they shave the dogs. Like on my side of my head.
Yeah.
Say aye! Aye! All opposed!
Nay,
Who said that?
it was him.
Coburn jumped
You know,
his line.
Right, he says "Love the King" on his.
Yeah, I love the King.
I love
yeah.
the King.
One of our many beating scenes.
They were easy to film.
Of course, we reprise that in Infinitum and Lady Brown 2. Beatings.
Yeah.
Bill doing his old man, but staggering.
Listen what I have here.
But
Dear
another
King
great
George,
acting job here.
What's amazing is this is well before Bill even liked beer or alcohol. So,
Really?
I was a natural being drunk.
right? Yeah, exactly.
You didn't drink back then?
No, but ice.
Oh, we
Yeah,
would
it wasn't-
drink. It was just wasn't. Yeah.
It wasn't until senior year we started drinking.
Right? Yeah.
Really? This
Yeah.
peppermint schnapps?
Maybe I may have had some of that with you, but not really. It wasn't until senior
The
year.
thing is,
Yeah.
like, that's all I knew. Because, like, one time I went drinking with my brother and peppermint schnapps. I was like, all right, everybody, let's get some peppermint schnapps.
We were still making movies at this point, so we weren't drinking.
Yeah,
You know?
we still had other interests.
Right. Exactly.
I'd like to point out that green school desk was an antique.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yep. There goes my hat. Yep, my oh, that flannel was awesome. I wish I could get that flannel
Let's
back.
get it back.
I don't even know where it's at. It's gone.
Man, and his
Oh, all things must pass.
Why did you have a Spider-Man mask?
I don't know. It's not really a Spider-Man mask. It's
I
just
just
a
saw
red-
webbing on it.
So
The
be-
winter
Okay, I think
hat that
I
he drew-
retold it inside out. I
He
don't
drew
know.
the webbing, though. It was just a winter hat that he drew the webbing on.
No way.
No, no. I think it is a
Yeah, I'm
Spider-Man
telling you.
mask that we turned inside out, so it wasn't a Spider-Man mask. But I
Still doesn't answer my question why you had a Spider-Man.
I don't know. Maybe my mom bought it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It could have been
Yeah,
my
it's-
dad from the 70s. That could have been a vintage Spider-Man.
Could have been.
And that's what you remember. I mean, this
Well,
is
most of these flannels were found, other than yours, they were found in this
Yeah,
basement.
now those are like $40 flannels.
Yeah.
I wish I still had those.
right, true.
Who knows? They might still be down there.
Those buttons don't come off, you know.
At some point
Oh, yeah, another
soon, we should film another movie in your basement.
My basement is a disaster.
Even better.
It'd have to be like an Indiana Jones, nasty bugs everywhere kind of
Yes.
scene, because that's what it's like down there.
wow.
There's like rat crap on the floor, and it's bad. Nobody goes down there anymore.
I'm tired of being told what to do by the higher estates. Yeah. I'm tired of the church.
Yeah, burn the church!
Being told to eat.
Eat grass like a desert llama!
What are we? Are we men? Or
We're French! French!
louder? French!
You know, if I had to write that again, we should have said we're French 3 times.
Why is that?
I think it would have just
The three estates
rated
of social
better,
class
and then
The
it was like
audience.
build, joke.
Right. Okay. Okay. I hear
They
you.
swore the
Yeah, this is just,
agreed to remain in session
the
until
patty cake.
Constitution was
Yep, I know. Again,
I remember you guys
This was-
practicing this quite a bit.
right, because this was on set that we wrote this.
Yeah.
Notice that Colburn turned his Toronto Raptors shirt
It's around.
backwards. He's got it on.
It's a totally new outfit.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Oh yes.
He wants 3 teams.
That was probably we had to convince him to do it.
Probably. Yeah. He would.
Yeah, stretches, but
Give
yeah.
them something they're going to vote.
Buffy, aren't you
And
done
Bill's
yet?
put a T-shirt on over the T-shirt he was wearing to be a different character.
I gotta give Colburn some props too. He was one of our solid character actors. See, I always felt like I was the worst actor, like of the bunch. Colburn, Bill, great. You played a great in Laddie Brown. You really shined.
Right, that's why I still think that we can make another movie that's with what's capable now with technology. That I mean, I would really like to.
Napoleon has agreed to
you
give us
know-
an exclusive interview. Let's see what he has to say.
So where'd the feather go? Wait, why is there?
The
The
feather.
feather had to be in the basement.
It had to be in the basement.
And it was the pen that Thomas Jefferson used. During
Right.
It was. It
Yes.
was.
Yes,
And
that-
it's sticking in the eye hole right now of the Spider-Man mask.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Napoleon, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
No, but
Right.
back to your point about like we could make a movie. Isn't it funny to think like all those weird ass kind of stupid comedies that come out now are just guys like us that ended up being actors,
Right.
Yeah.
And now they
Yeah.
have enough money to make their own stupid
Right.
like Hot
Oh,
Tub
yeah.
Time Machine and
Right, yeah.
all that kind of like.
Yeah.
This is like the roots of that. If we'd have
Yes.
been like actors or something,
Yeah,
but
right, yeah.
Yeah.
we had to go get like sort of real jobs and.
Yeah.
I blame Richmond, Illinois for the problem.
I don't know. I just didn't want to move to California. You moved out there, but you eventually have to move to.
He moved out there to be a rock star though, not an actor.
Yeah, we all know how that turned out.
Yeah.
Here I am, Friday night, home with you guys.
I freaking sold out the turf club. I'm fine. I don't. I don't look back. I just think this is what I think that we can still recreate this. I would.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to do another Laddie Brown, or honestly, even like
Age of Revolution.
Age of
2.
Revolution. Like, let's actually do something about.
There have been like 40 revolutions in the last 10 years.
Let's do another Age of Revolution.
Exactly.
Age of Revolution, 1900 to 2000.
So he could be 1990 to 2014.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Let's do it. Because at least then we have a base to grow from.
Right.
Of
I,
historical.
I would like to do. We should maybe do a Napoleon documentary. We should maybe actually look at this and be like,
Now,
What's
yeah,
the-
reprising these two characters,
right.
there might be something there. Yeah. I'm serious.
We'll bring back Colburn's cat character.
Oh.
Right. I want to do Laddie Brown. Like,
No, thank
you
you.
know, have
Napoleon.
just.
His name is also Napoleon.
You know, I don't know. I'll put on like
that's very
60
good.
pounds to be what
I think it'd be awesome to do
You
another
know,
Laddie
Jimmy
Brown too.
McPheesto?
Yeah.
Benjamin, be quiet. I love it. This ends so abruptly. It's just
It
like.
does.
It's
It's
that's
done.
great though.
Because
I
we
love
met the
that.
requirements. Clary,
had to be
about
20
it,
minutes.
Clary was just like, you need to do this. And so it was like, okay, we did it.
Well, the other thing I need to point out is if there were any other movies that got done for this assignment, ours was the only one that had opening and closing credits.
Yes.
Nobody else had credits.
No, everybody else is pure shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
They're
they're
up
just
there.
like, okay, here's where it starts, and okay, it's done. But you know, you have just seen it's over. The end.
Yeah.
The thing is, we obviously took a lot of pride in this movie.
We
You know,
did for
I
sophomores
also-
in high school.
Other movies that I made, so then I had I think it was, So there was the dude that was sleeping with Lisa Peck, and then the guy before him,
and Jimmy Preston.
Jimmy Preston. Okay, so I did a movie for his class with Nick Kanowski, Heather Wirtz, and Wally Lavernier about the hippies in the '60s.
What?
And, we had Wally we couldn't distribute anything.
What was the one with "Here's Your Potatoes"?
Here's Your Potatoes. That was
Oh man.
Dean of Prudence.
Was that Dean of Prudence?
What was that for?
I don't even know.
That was Dean of Prudence,
Right,
though.
that was the Dean of Prudence.
Was that the same one that had the drill with the hook on it?
No, that was Laddie Brown.
That was Laddie Brown? Okay.
No, the drill with the hook is slightly above average man.
Probably that, too.
Again, all stuff that was found in the basement.
Right.
The sack of potatoes, the drill with the hook.
Here's Your Potatoes. That was a great movie.
Oh my God! Aaron
Spence
Spence catches the potatoes because his dad's the mayor. Stuff like that.
Was his dad really the mayor?
No, but that was the whole line. It's like, well, your parents are rich and your dad's the mayor, so you haven't been to class in 8 days, but here's your potatoes.
Bert Erslinger was in that movie.
Yeah, he was down there.
That's right.
And Kyle, the blonde hair with the ponytail.
Yeah.
Kyle guy was in that too.
Kyle, what's his name?
That was ridiculous.
Kyle
I don't
Peters.
even know that was for a class that you guys were in.
No, I wasn't
I
in it.
think it was just like, we could make this movie in Bill's basement.
Yeah.
I don't even
It was
know
a
if I was
Bill's
there at
Basement
all.
production.
It was a Bill's basement production.
We must have been there then, right?
Right, because I was like,
at
I'm
least.
making a movie. We got to have you guys.
I
there.
must
We could
have
have been
been
playing
there.
Risk afterwards.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You needed a ride there. And
Yeah,
I was driving.
right, yeah.
So or somebody, you had the van. I needed a ride there. So
That was a great. If I have that somewhere on VHS,
Right.
I'm gonna dig it up.
here's your potatoes.
Well, turn off that gas.
I think I remember now. We did this as the first take, and we didn't like it because of all the laughing.
Yeah.
So we made that other second take and put that in.
Way too much unprofessionalism in here.
Yeah, that's the best though. Oh,
Popular
In hindsight, we should have put this in the movie.
I think you ixnayed it because
I'm
this
pretty
one
sure.
you look really crazy.
You gotta understand my
Toby had a reputation.
I was
Toby's
really
wearing
lame.
the most obnoxious red glasses right now.
I was
just
really-
want to point
I was
out.
really lame back then.
Toby's was a ladies' man.
I licked the salt out of the tray.
Yeah, you were worried about this.
I
Like,
was. I had a ball filming it, but I was very worried.
yeah, you thought people would think you were odd.
I like to be supreme.
Hampering my quest for supremacy.
that
That I
come
think
from
is
this?
the birth of that line.
That's
No,
what
no,
I-
that line, the birth of the quest for supremacy line,
Okay.
that came from when you and I were driving in the old Buick LeSabre.
Right. That I think from the Metallica show.
And I was behind somebody.
Right, and we had the light came on.
No, it was in the that was the Buick. The
Buick.
And no, but I needed to pass somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy's hampering my quest for supremacy.
Right.
And then you likened it somehow to that light coming back on, because I think at some point during the trip.
It was on the whole time. The whole trip was blessed.
Yeah.
Dude,
No, but I'm still telling you, I think that this somewhere in here is the birth
Of the supremacy?
right, that
Oh.
it maybe
Could be.
was in one of the lines where it was like, I like to be supreme.
Oh, I see.
You know,
Oh,
that's
maybe.
the birth of it.
Could be.
To its flowering.
Well, it had to been if we were sophomores because we weren't driving yet.
Right,
So you're
and
right.
it was
okay.
senior year because I came back from Springfield to go to that show with you.
Did you went with me to the Metallica concert?
Yeah,
Okay.
at the Rosemont Horizon.
Yeah.
I went to a show with Colin. It was the guys who sing
We went
Funky Days Are Back Again or whatever.
Corner Shop.
Corner Shop.
Yep.
And
With,
I-
Tony Chuck
Yeah,
and
I remember.
American Dominator.
I was totally fucking with Colin, so I kept like rubbing his left
Oh my
hand
god!
or
So,
whatever.
okay, so I'm standing there, and
I'm
then there's
behind
Tony
them,
Chuck,
and I'm behind,
and
I
Toby
kept,
over
I
here.
kept like doing this.
No,
to
no,
Colin or
no,
whatever.
no. All of a sudden, and I had like made out with Tony Chuck at a party recently at my house, and so right. Oh,